European journey is over, is over. We went to Anfield, and the up and down Liverpool. We got the up Liverpool. We got the one that beat Karabakh 6-0. We got that one, unfortunately, and they beat us. Was it 4-0, Sircon? I lost count.
For nothing.
Yeah, 4-0. So we lost. We lost 4-1. If we could have just scored a goal and made it 4-2, it could have been interesting. But we didn't score any goals. And thank God for Urjan Shakir. I saw a message that said send Trabzonspor $30 more million. they, they might be right. It could have been, what do you think, 12-0?
Yeah.
Because
They had
he
like
saved
14 shots on goal or 15 shots on goal.
Yeah, I think their XG was 24. He he stopped Mo Salah's penalty. He stopped in extra time in the first half, back-to-back shots. They were peppering him. So yeah, the Etatike who was afraid to shoot, all this stuff that we had heard, all the pundits saying the past week after their losses. No. This was a good Liverpool. I was wrong. I thought the team being confident going in could overturn our road struggles. But Serkan told me, no, we're terrible on the road. I'm like, this is a different team. It doesn't matter. Apparently, it's in Galatasaray's DNA because our record on the road in Europe is terrible. I think we're 1-8 now away at England. Serkan, why are we so bad on the road in the Champions League? We're not bad in the Super League. Why are we bad in the Champions League on the road?
I'm telling you, this is a whole different platform. Liverpool beating Galatasaray is not really shocking. As you said, Liverpool is a brand that has been going through a difficult period, difficult time. And they saw this game as an opportunity to bounce back and regain momentum. In fact, this is the kind of response you expect from a team that has won the Champions League like multiple times, right? So I'm not surprised by this result at all. And honestly, I'm not discouraged either. Given our performance in the Champions League, we deserve recognition. Let's be realistic, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If I told you that we will be leading the Turkish Super League by 7 points and reach round 16 and still competing in the Turkish Cup, what would you say?
I'd say, oh, okay.
We would have accepted that outcome with no hesitations, right? So
So
I'm happy with the outcome. I'm happy with the outcome. I'm proud of the team.
I'll give you one more caveat that makes it even better. We got to the round of 16 and we won the home game in front of the home fans. So that means the home fans' happiness coefficient, people at that game, are very happy. Versus if you'd lost at home and won on the road, it's opposite.
Regardless of the result, I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of what we have done in the Champions League. And this is coming from someone who is labeled as a very pessimistic person on this channel. It's me. Believe me, I'm just as passionate as you are, but sometimes I try to see the glass half empty. It's me. I'm not saying that this is wrong or right, because when we lose a game, my day is over. Seriously. It ruins my day. The whole week is gone. So I choose to stay a little cautious. That way, when something positive happens, it feels better. So forgive me for this. But deep down here, what I feel and what I say are not always the same. A part of me always believed that we will win this game. We did not, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Again,
It's
I'm
not.
proud of the team. I'm proud of what we have done so far.
I wish we would have played better. And let's talk about the game a little bit. So
Sure.
the first weird thing that happens was the referee got sick, I guess. He's sick.
Yeah.
Had to go to hospital.
No
And
idea.
so they rotate, and you don't get the second most qualified referee. Somehow the fourth referee became the prime referee. Isn't that weird?
That is weird, but we didn't lose because of the referee.
Well, I understand. I'm just saying that's a weird rule. You would think if the number one ref went out, you would take the number two ranked ref off the team and put him at one. and then move fourth ref to flagman.
No, fourth ref comes for the central ref.
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of I found
It's
that I
weird.
found
I
that
know
odd.
that it's weird, but that's the rule.
All right. Well, so Osimhen gets fouled in the first 10 minutes of the game, and he lays on the ground holding his arm. It didn't look like really anything. I thought he was just kind of ginning it up to try to get the guys in yellow card trouble. But no, they wrap his arm, and he's useless. He was basically a spectator the rest of the first half. Wouldn't you agree?
I didn't watch the game.
Oh, that's right. And so when Sircon and I was talking, I was saying I was 75% sure we would win. I said, now that is just off what you know. I said, if like somebody gets a red card, a terrible injury, and here we go, what happens? The one player that can affect the game the most, the best player on the field on either team, Liverpool would take him in a heartbeat. Osimhen, first 10 minutes, injured, done. So we lost our best player. Then what confused me, when we subbed him out at halftime, and we didn't bring in a striker. So we take him out, we take Bowie out, and we bring Lang in, and we bring Sane in. So now we've got wingers galore. We've got Shalai, who started a winger. Then you've got Barish. Now you've got Lang, and you got Sane. So you got lots of people that love to pass the ball, but no one who's really comfortable getting in front of the goal and shooting the ball. And surprisingly, Mario Icardi sits on the bench all the way till like the 88th minute when Noah Lang crashes into the barrier and cuts his finger. Here's the picture of it if you want to see it. Here it is. That's when Icardi finally comes in. What's your opinion on this, Sircon? If Icardi isn't good enough to come in when Osimhen is hurt, and we ran off Balta, who was a good youth striker for us because we wouldn't play him. So we have no other striker. And if Juventus wanted Icardi in the transfer window and the team knew, well, he's not good enough to play, why do we have him?
That's an indication that we're not going to be signing a contract with him. He's gone.
Mm-hmm.
He's here today, but he's going to be gone tomorrow when the transfer window opens.
So, but it was just strange. You're at this point, the game wasn't out of control yet. At halftime, it was 1-0, so it was tied 1-1, right? So here's where I'll get a little picky about losing. So it's 1-1. You come out of the half, so you need a goal, right? You need a goal. They're at home. You're not going to hold them down. Like my prediction was 2-2. It'd be 2-2. We'd go out, move on 3-2. And so you have to get a goal, but then you don't bring Icardi in, the guy that likes to score goals. So that must mean they think he's not capable of scoring goals.
It's not about being capable or not.
So why'd he travel with the team? I don't get it.
He's not a good fit for what we play. Let's just admit that he's not a good fit for what we play. This is not the Turkish Super League.
I know, but it was just weird that we need a goal, and we've got a bunch of wingers running all around the sidelines everywhere. We didn't get a decent shot off.
That's what I'm saying. That's an indication that we have given up on Icardi.
Yeah. Well, this is what kind of pisses me off, that we gave up on the game. We gave up on the game with that substitution. If the only striker we had was Osimhen, right? That means you're going to have a winger pass to a winger who's going to find a way to score. And so you've greatly diminished your ability to score.
Right.
And you know they're going to score again. And so to me right there, Ocon was waving the white flag going, I don't have anybody I can bring in to do the job.
We conceded 3 goals in the matter of like 20-25 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable.
No. So
He gave up so quickly.
Right. And I told you, I said, losing the game is one thing. Getting embarrassed is another. We got embarrassed. So that's what bothers me. I'm proud of the team. I'll feel better later. We're still leading the Turkish Super League. We're still in the Turkish Cup. Like Serkan said, we made it to the final 16. But, and we've said this before, if we don't have Osimhen on the pitch, we're toast.
That's true.
And that's not just in the Champions League, that's in the Super League.
I like to believe in numbers. Many of us underestimated our away performance before the game. That's what happened. That's why I mentioned in the previous video that aside from that Ajax game, we had not delivered a solid performance, a convincing performance in our Champions League away games. That's what I tried to say. So statistics show that we're not good.
Why is that, though?
That's not, well, you're asking the wrong person. I'm not the right person to ask this question.
No, you're on a Galatasaray show that people watch for information. You are the right person.
All right, so I'm gonna repeat myself here. Lack of motivation for away games, okay, or tactical deficiencies. I don't know how we can interpret this, or it could be as simple as the lack of experience on the field. I have no idea.
Okay. So I've got two. That's one of mine. The lack of experience. We haven't played. The core of this team hasn't played in the Champions League like the last 3 years where they've got a lot of experience. This team, the majority of them had never done it, and none of them had done it together, right? So that's a big one. I think Rams Park is a problem.
In a positive way?
No. So our park is so good. You've heard it's one of the top, what 5 hardest places to play, people say?
Yeah.
So when your home field is such an advantage, like one of the best advantages in Europe, when you lose that, you're losing way more than other teams do.
I agree.
And so I think the fact that our stadium is so good that there's such a drop off in the kind of what you said, the motivation that the fans give you because ours are so good, they're the best, in my opinion. And then you lose that, that's hard to let go of. So remember the year that Başakşehir here won the title? The COVID season? What did I joke with you about? Başakşehir here was the best team to win the COVID season with no fans because they never played with fans.
That kind of worked for them.
Mm-hmm. It was hard for us. We'd been in this huge stadium. Now we're playing in silence. They'd always played in front of about 15 people. So playing in front of 0 people wasn't hard for Başakşehir here. They thrived in it. So you take a Champions League team that plays in a park maybe half as exuberant as ours, they're not losing much going on the road. We lose a lot because our stadium is so good. And then, like you said, this team did not have a lot of Champions League experience. They got some this year, though.
Well, we just got to keep repeating this success. Next year, we got to do it better. Maybe the first 8, maybe semifinals. I don't know. We just got to keep repeating this success. That's my definition of success.
Well, I agree with you. So you go into next season and you lose a Cardi, you'll lose a few people, but you'll keep your core. You'll keep a lot of your defense, your midfield, right? And you'll add to it. And so then that team, the spine, the majority of that team will get to carry the experience of this season into next season. And so you should see the team perform better because let's say they go on the road again with like a 2 or 3 goal lead. They've done that before now.
Yeah.
They've had experience doing that. Let's say they go to England with a 1-0. They've done that. So hopefully, if Okan is still our coach, he will have gotten better at this. The players that we keep, they'll get better at it. And speaking of getting better, Osimhen was injured. Noah Lang was injured. So we're going to have plenty of time to heal up because we don't play this weekend or next weekend. We don't play for 17 or 18 days, depending on when the Trabzon game is. We're supposed to play Ghost Happy this week. I don't think we'll play the Ghost Happy game if we clinch early and go. If Ghost Happy can't move up or down, if they can't move into Europe and they're not going to drop down, they won't need the points. And I don't think they'll try to cram it in somewhere.
I wonder when TFF is going to announce that.
I don't know. You think they would have done it? Like what? No. So in America, if they delay a game, they go, "This game's been delayed. We're going to play it on this day."
Right.
That works. So
They usually set it early.
Right. So we don't know the Turkish national team and all the national, well, not all the national, just the ones that have to play. Our Romania game is a week from tomorrow on Thursday. And then we don't play that weekend either. So it's like March the 7th or 8th is when we'll play Trabzon. So we've had this crowded.
2 weeks off. So
Yeah,
what is
it's a lot
today?
long.
Today is the 18th. So about 2 weeks off. That's
Yeah.
plenty of time.
Mm-hmm. So Osimhen can heal up. Noah Lang can get his finger fixed. Everybody that's tired can rest. And so that's good. Because too, it's not just physical, right? All of this,
it's emotional.
Yeah, emotional and mental. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for us too, right?
Yeah, I'm down. Maybe you're not gonna believe that, but I'm down.
I thought you said it wasn't going to matter.
Disappointed. But
yeah,
again, it doesn't change the fact that I'm happy with the outcome.
Well, I really wanted to get Jamie Carragher on the show. That would have been a lot of fun.
To us, that's a win-win.
Yeah, but not going to happen now. It really bothered me at halftime of the game. They go, "What percentage are you thinking now, Jamie?" "Oh, 110%." And he was right.
We woke up the sleeping giant.
We did. But it was fun. It was fun. Our roller coaster ride of qualifying. I'll never forget going. I went to the Atletico Madrid game. All the energy and getting that point we needed in qualifying by the skin of our teeth in 20th place.
Mm-hmm.
Then just hammering Juventus 5-2. And then watching the lead all slip away. Our emotions went from here to here. Then we score and it goes back up to there. And so then we get Liverpool and everybody's saying we're going to lose. We beat them at home. So we had a lot of fun, didn't we?
Yep. That has been a good ride so far. We enjoyed the ride.
Yeah. I'm proud of our lines. I'm proud of
Same here.
Ocon.
Yeah.
The sun will come up tomorrow, and guess what? Again, when we wake up tomorrow, where are we going to be? First place in the Super League, the favorites in the Turkish Cup. Everything's going to be fine. We'll win the league this year. We'll win the cup. We'll get our trophies,
and we'll do it better next year.
We'll directly, once again, qualify for the Champions League. Done doing that qualification crap and not making it like we did with Young Boys and all that trash. All Sparta Pragues and terrible things. So we'll qualify right back into it again. And we'll have a deeper bench because you know what they're not going to do next season? They won't start off with a bench that's no good.
Yep.
So then we'll finish in the top 8. We'll get a bye in the first round and go right into the round of 16. That's what we're going to do, sir.
That's what I mean by success. Let's just repeat the success again.
You like that plan?
Yeah.
I do. I like that plan too. So thanks everybody for sticking with us. Again, it's been fun covering the team through the Champions League this first year of our show. It's all over now, but it's going to be fun. We'll take a little break, but then we'll come back with, I think isn't it second place Trabzonspor now? Because they won today.
How did they did? What was
they won today?
They won today.
Yeah,
they're sharing points with Fenerbahce.
Yeah, so it's second place Trabzon.
Second place Trabzon, or they're at the same point. So
yeah, it's good enough for me. So that's another big game.
Yep.
I'm glad the boys had a little time. I'm glad we're not playing it this Saturday. I would not like our chances if we were.
We're going to be able to recover physically and emotionally.
Yeah. They'll be able to come back, they can drink some salep and some tea, eat a little cocoa rich and G-Air, and get their bodies all healthy again and rocking and rolling to finish sprint, make a 2-month sprint to the Super League title.
Yep.
All right.
Let's do it.
Tell us how you feel. Are you satisfied with our Champions League journey? I know it ended rough, but overall, it was fun. So enjoy the break, Galatasaray, and hadi hadi in Buke, Jim Bone.